Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us for Living Local, your lifestyle show for all things Charleston and beyond. I'm Ashley Meservey. Joining us today, we have Captain Dave. He's back, and he's with Carolina Marine Group. Thanks for having me on this. Is it a vessel? Can I call this a vessel?
Sure, call it whatever you want.
All right.
We're floating.
We're floating. I love this. Okay, so we're going to meet the fleet today. All right, so
We are on.
who are we on?
We are on hatteras. So this is a 36-foot hatteras sport fish. I've had this boat for over 20 years.
Really?
Yeah. Shh, don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
All right, so how do you decide what is you're going to name a boat? Is that the name of the boat?
It is.
I've always
It's a play on words.
Okay.
The manufacturer is Hatteras from Hatteras, North Carolina. It's a
Okay.
very well-known boat builder.
Okay.
And so my friends thought it would be fun to pick the name. And so I didn't actually pick the name, and it stuck.
So is there really like is it a superstition or something like
Yeah,
that? If the boat doesn't have a name?
A couple of my clients were asking about that yesterday. And technically, if you have a boat with a name on it and you want to rename it, you're supposed to take it out of the water. In boating, everything is superstition. I start this boat differently, then I start that boat, then I start that boat. I have different things that I do on this boat that are different than that boat and that boat. It's it's a very superstitious world.
Are all boats women?
Yes, except
Like
for the
how
one I just saw down on the end which is a man's name, which is
It's a
interesting.
man. Okay.
But
so
usually
why
they're
is that, you think? Because we're just prettier?
Yeah, well, yes. And they're finicky. I said
they're
finicky.
finicky.
I said
Yeah.
finicky. I didn't say anything else. I just said finicky.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. All right, tell us about some of the others.
All right, so I have another Hatteras. It's a 61-foot Hatteras motor yacht. It was built in '85. That will sleep up to 8 people.
Okay.
That usually stays dockside only because of the cost of taking it off the dock. And we have so many other options. It's just better to stay on board that boat, have parties on board, and then come out on a boat like this. And then I also have another boat. It's a 30-foot island hopper, and that is our inspected vessel. And what that means is that we can carry more than 6 paying passengers on board. We are governed in this industry by the Coast Guard, so they can tell us how many people and how many people we can't have on board. So this boat is our 6-pack boat, so we carry 6 people or less on this.
Okay.
And on Ship of Fools, we carry more than 6 people, up to 8. Ship of Fools.
Oh,
If you
okay.
notice the emblem on my head and right behind us, everything I own is tagged by the Grateful Dead. So Ship of Fools is a
never cease to
Grateful
amaze me.
Dead
That's it.
song. And
I
I just
love
thought
it.
it was very apropos to have Ship of Fools because we do a ton of bachelorette parties on board. So we just thought that it would be
I'm sure you have some great stories
a
to tell about
fun name. And yes, we
But
have
what
plenty of
happens
stories.
on your boat stays on the boat?
Just like Vegas.
Yep,
Yep.
I love that.
Yep.
All right, so you have different vessels, charters for different things.
Yep.
Let's talk about some of these different charters that you talked about, the bachelorette parties and things like that, but you really do cater to the people.
Yeah, we
based
have a
on
lot
their
of
needs,
different
right?
tours and things. We do everything from corporate to birthdays to weddings, engagements. Our sunset tour is one of our most popular tours. Usually we go out on this boat and it's 2 people and we throw in a nice complimentary bottle of champagne just to kind of get you started and just a little warm welcome and kind of set the romantic tone of the night. So it's really kind of neat. So we really cater to a broad market, everything from high-end engagements and weddings to, right before you get
People
married, the bachelor and bachelorette
Wanna
parties.
chill and hang out.
Hang
and
out.
Do all that.
Yep. And then we also do a lot of informational tours. Our 2-hour harbor tour hits all of the sites of the harbor. We got to Fort Sumter, Castle Pinckney, the Yorktown, Ravenel
bring the
Bridge.
kids and stuff?
Of course. We had a 14-week-old on board yesterday. Or
Really?
14 month or something like that.
Yeah, something
tiny
like that.
tiny little thing.
Yeah.
So that was her first experience and she loved it. Didn't cry once.
Really?
Yep. We're very good at what we do, even for the tiny little kids. They love it. So
So
and if you have little kids, even like on this boat, if they get a little, not say rowdy, but starting to lose interest, I'll throw them up on the bridge and I'll have them drive with me. And I'll put them in the driver's seat and
I'm gonna throw them overboard.
we'll let them. No, yeah, I mean only maybe 3 times
Yeah,
I've
it's
thrown
only
somebody
happening,
overboard.
Yeah. No one's judging.
But we'll let the kids drive the boat and kind of let them, get a feel for it and stuff like that. And that's kind of like the highlight. We want to make every tour that we do the highlight of their experience here in Charleston. That's always our goal, is to have this tour and this experience be the best experience that they've had in Charleston.
And as people walk by and stuff on the dock, it's just like everyone knows you. You have your own little special brand, right?
Yeah, I'm very quiet.
Yeah, you are very quiet. You are. So let's talk about, before we head out, kind of what do we need to do? How far in advance? I feel like you're almost like when you're getting married, like you have to book it in advance, right?
The farther
but you work all the time.
I work 7 days a week.
Yes.
From sun up to sundown.
You got to get on it, right? And,
yes.
And if you think about it, Charleston, I mean, you can do this. I mean, there's only like a few months that is not ideal, right? I mean,
I work 12 months out of the year. Because if you think about it, if you're coming down from Ohio, down here, this is that's spring or fall boating for them. So they're thrilled.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, remember we had that snowstorm? I had to shovel the dock and the boat. I did 5 charters in the snow.
Are you kidding me?
Nope, swear to God.
Maybe that's just like the Somerville girl in me. I'd be like, what?
And they were from Virginia, one of the groups I remember very vividly, and everything was closed. And he was into the historic sites and stuff like that, and archaeology and all that other stuff. They sat outside here the entire time. I'm like, I'm freezing. I'm going inside.
Yeah.
You're welcome to come inside. They stayed outside the entire
time.
Yep, had a blast.
All right, so but when it comes to booking, can you do it online and do stuff like that?
I want them. You can look at all the stuff online. You can
inquire.
Inquire online, ask questions, but I always want them to call, because I hold the calendar and I want to make sure that they're getting the experience that they want. So I always like to talk to them, and I book them right then and there. Or they can, like most bachelorette parties, well, I'll call you back. I got to go talk to. I'm like, I know the drill. Don't worry about it. I'll talk to you and tomorrow or the next day. But
all right. Well, it is a pleasure hanging out with you today. So thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for coming down.
All right. And for more information, you can head online to CarolinaMarineGroup.com. More Living Local is coming your way, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.